Hey everyone, there is no better way to get a quick pop of color in your fall garden than with a pot of mums. And I picked this 1 gallon pot up yesterday at the home center for about $4, so pretty good bargain as well. And I'm just going to slip it right into this pot and probably put it on my front steps, although I'm kind of liking the way these colors are working back here on my patio, so I might leave this as my tabletop arrangement too. When I'm buying mums in the fall, I always like to look for them in bud instead of in full bloom, because I'll get to enjoy the color in my garden longer if I make sure that I see all of the blooms in my garden instead of only some of them. And they'll fade, they fade more quickly if they're already in bloom. But I do like to buy them where there are a few buds blooming, so you can see the actual color that they bloom in, because sometimes the buds might look like they'll be pink and then they open and it turns out to be a white mum, or maybe they look orange when they're in bud and then they turn out to be yellow. So it's good to have a few so you know what the actual final color will be. A lot of people ask if mums are annuals or if they're perennials, and the fact is that they are perennials that are often grown as annuals in our gardens in containers, and sometimes people put them in the ground as well for like bedding annuals. But the fact is they're actually perennials and mostly hardy in zones 5 to 9. I'm in zone 5 here. There are some that are bred to be hardier. They're hardy in zones 4. And but the thing is, if you want them to overwinter better, it's best to plant them in the spring. You'll have better luck that way, because the roots have time to get more established and get through the winter better. However, I don't think it's a bad idea to plant in fall, because you have them anyway. Why not stick them in the ground and see what happens? Let me show you some that I planted several years ago. This is 5-alarm red, and I planted it several springs ago. Spring, as I mentioned, is really the best time to plant mums, but they don't just jump out at you at the garden center, so sometimes you'll have to look a little bit in the spring, but you'll be really glad in the fall that you did. There's a lot of different varieties of mums than we see in the garden centers in the fall. You know, there's lots of different fancy petal shapes and forms and different color patterns. Sometimes if you want those, you might need to order them through mail order, through a specialty nursery, and I'll drop some links to those below. So maybe check those out and have some fun with that too. I got this mum because some people at the office at Garden Gate, the team at Garden Gate, was sharing this 5-alarm mum, and so I was able to get some divisions. And that's an interesting thing about mums too, is that they need to be divided every few years, or else they get kind of woody in the middle and split out. And so if you divide them, then you'll have plenty to share. When you dig the clump up, you'll get several, it'll almost fall apart in your hands. You'll have several shoots that can be planted, and you'll have lots to spare. So plant yours back in the ground and share some with friends, and then you'll be good to go. Pinching is another thing that really helps your mums look great year after year. And pinching means that you take the stem back by 1 or 2 leaves several times during the summer, even if they are already in bud. Do this as many times as you like until mid to late summer. I pinched this mum probably 2 or 3 times this summer, and I really like how it has a natural shape and it's mounded. It isn't leggy, but it isn't super compact like the ones I find at the garden center. So back to the question of whether you can plant your mums in the fall, and the answer is yes, you can. Why not? Here in Zone 5, they may or may not make it through the winter. We'll see. The earlier the better, so the plants have a chance to get established. Give them a nice layer of mulch and water them in, and keep watering them until the ground freezes, so that they can continue to establish the roots. You'll want to put them in a spot that has relatively good drainage, especially in the winter, so that the crown doesn't rot, because mums can be a bit susceptible to that. We've even had good luck here in containers at our test garden. We have some large containers that we planted mums in, and they've come back for a few years in a row now, and the only thing that we do special for them is to tip the containers on their sides in winter to prevent moisture from collecting in the crown of the plants in the pots. And we always let all of the mums, whether they're in the ground or in pots, we leave the stems and the foliage all standing in the garden. Don't clean it up in the fall. So whether you grow your mums as perennials or as annuals, as you can see, there is no better way to get a lot of impact in the fall than with a few mum plants around your garden. I hope you have a beautiful fall.
Hi, I'm Jack from Garden Gate Magazine. I hope you enjoyed our video. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel and press the bell to get notified each time we upload a new video. You'll get content with useful gardening tips, design ideas, and how-to help for all levels of gardeners. Follow us on all our social platforms and visit our shop. See the list below. Thanks for watching.